Today I'm going to talk about Einstein's miracle year. It was announced differently on the flyer, but basically I'm going to talk about E equals mc squared, so no worries. And I'm going to talk about basically what he did in that year, which was miraculous. And let's see, in 1905, what Einstein's miracle year was about. He wrote 4 articles that were basically shocking the physics world, and on these 4 subjects, as you can see, and they basically laid the foundations for modern physics, which we still use, of course, which is still shocking sometimes in its conclusions, and I will see what they are about. So that was Einstein when he was the age when he was writing these articles, by the way. So all the later and more famous Einstein pictures that you know basically was also a very important man, but this was the guy that was writing the articles. And let's look at 1905 or around that time what the state of physics was. So most physicists describe gravity and electrodynamics as with fields, basically. And thermodynamics was considering, well, large macroscopic variables, and atoms basically weren't widely accepted yet. There were ideas that atoms existed, but as most of you probably know, atoms are so very small, they are very hard to see. So it is not strange that people didn't accept the existence of atoms. So we now know that, and it was also based on what Einstein found. So let's look at Einstein's life up till that point. He was born in the south of Germany, and in a secular Jewish family. And as you can see, he's in old age he was still playing the violin. Basically, when he was 5, his mother told him to learn to play the violin, which he hated. But shortly after, he really loved it, and he loved playing music, and it helped him relax, and basically had the most joy in that. And he went to Leiden, where he had a friend, and made music there in the living room, where the friend was playing piano. And well, his violin was almost always with him. So that is something completely different, perhaps a side we didn't know. As a young boy, he was already good at maths and physics. He, in his first year in high school, he basically asked his parents to buy the next year's math book, and he worked through that in a couple of months, and was basically done with that. And he also found the proof, one of the proofs. There are many proofs of Pythagoras' theorem, and he found one of the proofs that was known already, not by him, but he found it separately from well, articles and everything. So he was pretty smart, and he already had mastered some calculus that some chemistry students here have in their second year. So no problem for him when he was well, 13. Something else that he was doing when he was that age was reading philosophy by Kant, the Critique of Pure Reason, Kritik der reinen Vernunft. That's pretty heavy stuff for even for an adult. And I was thinking about that when I was 13. I was reading Donald Duck, so it's completely different. And the most enlightening thing about this is basically that what this is about is, as you can see, the knowledge not based on experience. So basically pure knowledge about thinking about things and then finding out stuff about the universe. And that's of course what he did later on. So already as a 13-year-old, this was in him, this way of thinking, and that's remarkable for a 13-year-old. And nobody knew that at that time, of course. So what happened later? Well, then he failed his exam, of course, because he was too lazy. He was basically not interested in high school mathematics. It was probably too easy or whatever. He didn't practice at all, and he failed his exam. Well, he didn't fail the math and physics, but he failed all the rest because he couldn't care. And later on, he got his diploma, but it took a while. He then went for a teacher's degree in math and physics. That's the highest you can achieve in life anyway. So of course, you would all love to do that. But Uh, and he wanted to become a teacher. But the thing is, he tried to become a teacher, but he failed. Nobody would hire him. So I don't know what happened in the applications, but nobody would hire him. So he was a substitute teacher, people at home or whatever. He helped them outside of schools or whatever. And then a friend's father helped him to get a job. And that job was pretty good because, well, this is a posed photo for that job, but basically it looked very relaxed. He was dealing with patents for all kinds of inventions, so you have to have a lot of physics knowledge to basically to determine if they are really new inventions or basically variations of something that was already known. And he had a lot of time to think about his own stuff, and basically in the evenings he wrote his articles. So the thing in that time was that the people, this is Switzerland, right? They really wanted their trains to run on time and the clocks to be on time too. So if at one station is, I don't know, 12 o'clock and a train takes 1 hour to go to another station, then it should be 1 o'clock. And the timing of those clocks was a thing that was being dealt with at that time. And so many of the patents were about synchronizing clocks and signaling across distances. So he was dealing with that because of his patents, and of course that's something that came back in his own articles later on.